Hey everybody, it's me, Margaret. I'm a Mississippi native transplanted to Atlanta, Georgia, moving to Texas in the spring. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you missed a few videos. Speaking of which, in the last video I said I had to cut myself off because I had plenty to say, but not enough time to get it all out and get it all edited. So this video is filling in all the blanks of those things that I left out the last time. So first, I want to rewind back a few weeks ago. We had a quick pickup trip to Walt Disney World. Our daughter had to work down there for something, and she said, why don't y'all come down and stay with me? And we did, and then we added on one extra day. She went home, and we checked into Animal Kingdom Lodge over at Kidani Village. Okay, I took notes so that maybe I could get this out in some sense of order so that I could make my editing easier on this. This is the resort with the African theme. Here's the main lobby called the Jumbo House. Jumbo means hello, welcome in Swahili. But we stayed in the Kidani Village part, and here's that lobby. And Kidani Village was built for Disney Vacation Club members, but they rent them out to regular people like us too. Now our key won't work in our door, so I'm waiting while Tucker goes back downstairs. But look at the shield or whatever. They're all different on all these doors. And look at the light fixture. It's a drum. You come in and you have this little kitchenette area over here with a refrigerator. That's nice. And then this is the bath. Oh, love the storage at the bottom. Separate potty room. And your shower is over here. Oh, look at the tile. That's cute. Regular old bathtub. Then, I guess that's for the adjoining room. What's this? Oh, the closet. Clearly marked. Extra pillow and blanket. I love all the styling here. That's just what, an armoire? Yeah. And then there's the TV in a frame, so to speak. And then the bed is here with a tapestry hanging up there. Look at the light fixtures. Pull-out couch. I assume this is a pull-out couch, right?
Yeah.
And then look, that's like, well, I think it's a piece of carpet actually, but I think it mimics the handwork. No, it is the handwork. Look up there. The handwork of artisans. Look at the beads. And then a little table, sitting area. And let's go see the view. How do I get out? Over here. Little chairs, table, and dun-da-da. So we don't have any animals visiting us right now, but look right over there. Now, this resort is built around 4 different savannas, and according to Disney's website, there are over 200 hooved animals and birds. They had knowledgeable people around all the time to point out things and answer questions, and plus there were these free organized programs where you could watch feeding time or just learn more about the animals. There were things for kids, specifically for kids, and there were things for adults like wine tastings and restaurant tours. But I think my favorite part was the collection of African art. And again, according to Disney's website, it's one of the largest collections of African art in the United States. Now here's an example of upcycling at its finest. It's a briefcase where the outside is made of Diet Coke cans and the inside is lined with French Disney comics. Made me smile at first until I realized that it came from the Democratic Republic of Congo. And as you probably know, parts of the Congo are so war-torn and poverty-stricken that this probably wasn't a fun craft somebody did in their kitchen, but rather collecting trash to meet a need. Regardless, it's impressive. I spent hours looking at the art. One, because I'm a huge history buff, and two, historical African art is basically arts and crafts, many of which involve textiles and, what are my favorite crafts to do? Textile related ones, of course. And this is the Ijile mask. Yes, a mask, a ceremonial mask, and it's featured in the lobby. It is created by the Igbo people of Africa, and it's this massive creation that towers more than 16 feet tall and 8 feet in width, and the textiles on it are completely different everywhere you look. I have 1,000 pictures, but here's a few. Look at the beading on this one. This is the Bamileke leopard headdress. And the placard says that the Bamileke of Cameroon danced this leopard headdress to illustrate their membership in the Leopard Society, which is a group of titled men that govern disputes and issues of law. Now, how long do you think it took to bead this thing? And it was a headdress, so the beads actually had to stay on while they were dancing around. So I'm incredibly inspired by African art. The colors, the textiles, the textures, like mixing different beads and whatever. I don't know, I was just incredibly inspired to do something like that. So I rush home and I'm rooting through all my stash and everything because I really want to use what I have. I'm on a spending freeze right now with my craft supplies. And I don't have anything that I feel like I could make African art with. So, I mean, I probably could. I could, if I ripped up strips and did some weaving and all that, then I could probably make a really cool dress for Kitty. But I just don't even know where to start. So, one of the many things that I get all inspired to do, and then I come home and feel like, oh, now what? I don't know what to do to make it happen. I feel like I need to live next door to an art teacher. That would solve all my problems, because then I could run next door and say, you know, tell me about African art and how can I create them? I'm in the process of sorting my buttons. I had them sort of sorted, and it's kind of funny. As I get new clothes, I always throw the extra buttons that come with them. And look, Petite Sophisticate closed a long time ago. But I think I have several of Petite Sophisticate and several of the Loft. But regardless, these will be good little bags to save for something, I don't know what. I'm sorting by size because that makes the most sense. I think when you're sewing something, you're looking for a size and then you'll find the color that you might need. But, you know, for the American Girl dolls, we need these smaller ones. Sometimes we can get these small, medium sizes here, but and then I found all my novelty buttons too, which could be really cute. So, yeah, got a little cup of coffee going and a nice big project. Look what I found. 29 cents, New Glow, guaranteed washable. As if there were any question about plastic. Nothing on the back. 29 cents for 8 buttons. So I'm using this cording foot, which has a little groove underneath it for this elastic to run through, and I'm zigzagging over it. And this is a new technique, new to me, it's not new, that will allow it to gather the material and be stretchy. But the deal is you zigzag over it without touching any. Now I'm using my serged edge here as a guide, but quite frankly, it's pretty easy because this foot, as long as I keep the foot in the right place, the foot is grabbing the elastic and going right over it. Cross your fingers. So that's what it looks like. I should be able to pull my elastic through, which I can. You see how it's gathering like that? So that saves you the headache of having to stuff the elastic through a casing. So let me check it out. I'll continue on and see how it works. And here's the finished top, a little peasant top. I think maybe it's supposed to sit off her shoulders, but I don't like that. As a matter of fact, I may even tighten the elastic on the next one that I do Well, maybe not. It looks kind of cute like that. That's what it looks like, and I think it came out fine like that with the zigzag over the top. I did the same thing on her sleeves. And something else I've been doing on clothes that it's kind of hard to tell the front from the back is I've been sewing a little tag in the back, if you could see that, so that the child can tell which is supposed to be the back and which is the front. It doesn't really matter so much on this top. This is a great top, by the way. You just step into it. There's no Velcro on the back or anything. You just kind of stick their feet in and then pull it up over their arms. So that's kind of fun. But things like these little shorts, that's another thing that I marked on the back with a little tag like that. So you could tell the front from the back, because it does matter in pants, because you know you have a bigger bum that you need to have in the back. So, but there you go. You know, I think all artists and crafters know that the right tool can make the job easier. So I got this collection a long time ago. I got it from Amazon, and I'll try to link it below in my Amazon store where I put all my favorite things that I bought. I have a Singer sewing machine, but they make these sets like this for other types of machines. Not sure about Bernina now, because Bernina takes some really expensive presser feet accessories, but I don't know, I could be wrong. But anyway, this has been wonderful, and I keep it in the box like this because it literally tells you what each one of the feet are. And so if I have any question as to how to use something, guess what? You just go to YouTube and it tells you everything you need to know. I think the next foot that I'm going to use, I haven't used all of them, but I think the next foot that I'm going to try is the one that ruffles. I think it's called something else, a shirring foot. Now, that does basically the same thing as a ruffling foot, but there is a fancy schmancy ruffling foot that's a big giant thing, but this is a watered down version that will do exactly what I need it to, so I'm going to try that out next. But here's the deal. They come in these little foam things, so they stay put. You don't, like, you can shake it all around and they don't come loose. And that means you can easily find them by the picture on the front. So that's pretty handy dandy. So I had heard about a cording foot, but I never had used one, and I thought in my head, ooh, I wonder if I have a foot in my collection, and sure enough, there it is. So it worked like a charm, and I'm really grateful that I had it. So continuing on with my decluttering and going through boxes and stuff, I ran across a box of Thomas's trophies. Now, you know the deal about participation trophies, where, you know, they're big controversial things right now. You know, giving kids things they didn't earn, that controversy. Well, there's also the monetary expense that can be a waste, and both money spent on them then and later there's the dilemma of what to do with them. And the reason why is because when they're 18 years old, they don't care about them anymore. So that's a lot of expense. But here's what I'm doing to preserve the memory. This box is heavy, and I just didn't want all these things to end up in a landfill. So my thought process is if I removed Thomas's information off of them, that somebody may be more inclined to grab these for a, you know, craft project funny award. I don't know. I just figured there are creative people out there that may be able to put them to good use. So I took the plaques off of them and stuck them on a piece of paper. Now these are just his participation trophies, and while they're not that important, they're just memories. Like we can see what year he was on what teams and, you know, that sort of thing. I'll label them, but that's just for, I don't know, I just felt weird throwing them in the garbage can. And now I'm in the process of removing the plaques off the trophies where they were actually earned, and I thought I'd show you how I do it. Basically, I'm using one of these, what is this? A spatula, you know, the thing that you use to put on drywall. And it has like a little wedge edge right there. And I just kind of get under the edge and then just kind of move. They're all stuck on, or at least it seems to be, with double-sided tape. So they pop off pretty easily. So straighten them out and stick them on something. Now these blank trophies can be donated, and somebody who's clever, crafty, and creative could probably think up a use for something like this. I wish I was a scrapbooker. I feel like I could have done something really cute if I was a scrapbooker, but I did try that craft and I didn't enjoy that. It didn't last very long at all. So let us move on to yarn topics now in my organized self. I showed you this shawl that I made a while back. It's actually crocheted. I don't remember the name of the yarn, but I got it from Knit Crate. I absolutely loved it too. Of course, every yarn I get from Knit Crate I love, so that's really no help, is it? But it's in one of my older videos, I don't know. But speaking of older, I'm looking through my clips that I had stored on my computer because I need to make room on here and switching things over to big external hard drives or whatever. And I found this clip of me finding a mistake, and I meant to show it to you, and I never did. Look at my mistake. Now when I did the other one, I put a stitch marker here at the point. You do the same thing all the way here until you get to the point, and then you do something different. And then you do the same thing all the way here, and then when you turn, you have something different that you have to do. Well, if you don't pay attention to where you are, like when I was in the car, for example, and it was getting kind of big and in the way, and so you could easily think that you're all the way over here, and then you turn it around and do like that. Look how many rows I did the wrong thing. Like I said, I used a stitch marker before, but I forgot to pack it, and I thought, this is not a complicated pattern. I can easily see when I get here. No, I didn't pay attention and screwed the whole thing up. Now this is so typical of me for any project. I feel so jealous of some people who can just sit down, follow a pattern, make maybe minor mistakes, go back and fix. But I mean, that was a considerable mistake I had to rip back. But I've said many times before, it doesn't frustrate me that much because it's the process that I love even more than the finished product a lot of times. I just enjoy the process. So, you know, it's okay. And crochet is so fixable. You know, so easy. Just take your hook out, rip, to start where your last good place was. And then just fix it. Knitting is a little bit trickier to fix, but I don't know, it's just not a big deal. But I want you to know that with every project that I do, there's always some kind of huge mistake like that I have to go back and fix. Now, I told you I'm on a spending freeze right now. And with any craft supplies, unless the bare necessities, if I need, you know, thread or elastic or something as I'm working on these doll clothes for Sister Margaret Mary, you know, whatever. And I hope everybody's working on their stuff for Sister. Remember, it's toy-related crafts that she sells at her fair. Details about how you can participate are in the description box below because the time is drawing nigh. But anyway, I was at this strip center the other day. It happened to be the same one where Michael's was. And even though I can't spend, or I'm trying not to spend, I wanted to go in and check out two relatively new yarn products that I had not seen in person. So I thought I was going to come in here and get a better look at these Caron Pantone bamboo things, but look at this. They were sold out so quickly. I know I'm a little slow on the uptake, but these are nice, everybody. I really like these if you have an opportunity. You know what Pantone is. That's the actual official color people. It's putting these colors all together, which is fun. This is an upscale version of a Caron cake. And I also stopped in to see these latte cakes that I've been hearing so much about, and they feel fantastic. A little fuzzy. It's considered a bulky weight yarn, but looking at it, I'm not sure I would consider it that at all. It is a very light worsted, if I had to say. It does come in a good variety of colors, so there's that. And I have to say, I really like this if you're looking for an inexpensive acrylic. This is a Michael's brand, I imagine. Yeah, it's Loops and Threads. And it's smaller, it's lighter, and it feels really, really good. So what are they calling this? Loops and Threads Wellness Baby. Comes in a lot of colors too. I came home to check out these claims: antibacterial, antifungal, hypoallergenic, odor-free. I wanted to see what the deal was here. And it's a new kind. You got regular acrylic, and then you have this different type of acrylic here. And what it says is this yarn has Class 1 OEKO-TEX, I'm not sure how you would pronounce that, certification, meaning that all the materials and dyes have been tested rigorously in the most stringent conditions, ensuring they don't contain any irritants or allergens that might irritate the most sensitive skin. So it does sound like an excellent baby yarn. Unlike so often when we see the word baby yarn, it's just like, whatever, yarn in baby colors. This truly sounds like a yarn good for babies. Now, it was really hard not to buy those because I did want to give them a try. But I have plenty of yarn here that I need to use up. I don't need to add and move anything more on our move to Texas. I've already done that just 3 years ago on this move to Georgia, and I remember it's too fresh in my mind. The least amount of stuff we can move, the better. And you remember when I mentioned that we were in Disney World? This is yarn related, by the way. While we were going to Disney World, Thomas was here, and I asked him to take apart my Addy to see if he could figure out what was wrong with it. And he did, and he worked with it for a while, and he said he could not see anything that would make it hang, but it does. See, he got this far, and then it hung up again. But I also realized that I never taught him how to get yarn out of a ball. And this is what I came home to. And then also he was working on some peg people to see if we want to include these in some little travel pocket things for Sister Margaret Mary's craft fair. I love the Incredibles back there. So he had the good sense not to gather it up and try to do anything. It's best when you have a mess is to kind of leave it sort of spread out so that you can work with it without getting it all in knots. So I did spend time sitting down getting that all wound up. But bless him, he was like, I didn't know what to do. I got to a point, it's like it was okay. Okay, here's Felicity at the spa, and we are going to change out her hair because it is in really bad shape. And I ordered some hair off of Etsy. What we're doing is calling re-wigging. That's what you look up when you're trying to learn how to do this. You re-wig a doll. And I managed to match it pretty great. And Felicity herself is discontinued, so I wasn't sure. You can't find it labeled Felicity hair, so I really had to guess. And this is what I got. The seller I got it from is Zazu Dolls, and this is supposed to be a tangle-free wig. In other words, in my understanding, is that it's going to be as tangle-free as possible. Let's put it that way. Now, in theory, it's supposed to be so easy that we take a spoon and pry her wig off of her head. Now, I see a lot of people using non-acetone fingernail polish to get the glue up, but she's pretty old. Felicity is an original Pleasant Company doll. She's at least 20-something years old. So I think it's pulling up in certain places, like right there. So I think I shouldn't have any problem just working it off. Work with it, and work with it, and work with it till it comes loose. And then you glue it on with some good old tacky glue. So let me do that and I'll get back with you. I do feel kind of cruel. I feel horrible. All right, close your eyes. Don't watch me. Okay, it's coming off great. It looks like there wasn't any glue at all right there. So just on the front, the sides, and the top. So that's good to know when I put it on. She looks like a troll, doesn't she? Okay, I couldn't get the glue off in certain parts, so I read to take a fingernail file, which I did, and sort of file it down smooth so you wouldn't feel any lumps and bumps under there. Actually, that is a much more prominent feeling than I got this pretty smooth, so that's good. I wiped her all off since I did put some of this on here. Got that all washed off, and I'm gonna let her dry for a little while before I put her wig on. Look at the Christmas formal that I did for Kitty. I should have had her hair all fixed and everything so you could see, but I just didn't get around to that, sorry. But I found this stash. I was cleaning out the box and I found this big old, I probably had about 2 yards of this fabric. And I thought, oh my goodness, nowadays, I don't know if you've noticed, but the girls are wearing prints to prom. And so I thought, a Christmas formal, wouldn't that be great? So I did that, and you just tie it in the back like that. But I also edited the pattern to make a scoop here, because I was thinking if I get, I don't know if I have anything right now to make a necklace for her, but I thought that would be pretty for her. And you know, girls have all that kind of stuff too, so someone may already have jewelry for their doll, but I just loved it. And here's another little thing. Last time I was talking about the need to make something for the colder months. So I thought about some leggings. I haven't found a pattern yet for that. I think I know where one is. But I made her a long sleeve t-shirt and put this little sleeveless dress over the top. And this sleeveless dress, of course, could be worn without this, and then she could wear it in the summertime too, right? But I remember one of my viewers telling me that you can't resell licensed fabric. For example, this came from, I don't know, I bought it off an Etsy store. So that Etsy, one sale, that Etsy person was allowed to sell it to me. However, I am donating this, and then it's going to be sold, but for a non-profit. So there's not really another point of profit sale off of this licensed fabric. So I'm pretty sure that that's okay. And if it's not, Sister can just give it away. But there you go. It's cute and somebody will like it. But this little pattern here, it's not actually a turtleneck, or at least it's not billed as a turtleneck, but the way you put the little top on kind of gave it that effect. It's just called a long sleeve t-shirt in the pattern, but I kind of like it. So I may just make a taller one to have a turtleneck that comes up to her chinny chin. But I thought that was cute. And then totally not for winter is this little hula outfit. Now again, at Disney, we bought tickets to the luau, which is in the Polynesian resort. And they gave us all these leis when we came in, so I shortened this one to put on her head, or it actually will go right on over her head if you just keep doing it, and she could wear it as a regular lei. Boonk, like that. And what I did here was, this was a sleeve of a t-shirt, and I took one of the leis apart and just glued the flowers onto the fabric so that she had a little flower skirt, which I thought was cute. And then she has just a t-shirt. Well, I was doing better with it up here, wasn't it? Just a t-shirt on here where I dropped the neckline so that it would, you know, look a little bit more like a swimsuit. I'm kind of torn. I mean, yeah, I could have made her a little swimsuit top type thing, and I don't know. I want to keep with the saying right now, which is modest is hottest. This is going to a school, a Catholic school, and with that in mind, I didn't know if the skirt seemed a little short. I could always glue one more layer of flowers down at the bottom. So comment below if you think the skirt is good or not, but I think it's adorable. Oh, poor kitty. I didn't put it up all the way. So anyway, there's that. Now at this point, I had every intention of offering a knit crate giveaway in this video, but I've since decided to add a separate offer as well. So to keep everything clear and concise, watch for that separate video coming soon. And as always, I appreciate your choosing to spend your time with me. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye.